Kia ora, and welcome to Wednesday's Economy Watch, where we follow the economic events and trends that affect Aotearoa. I'm David Chaston, and this is the international edition from interest.co.nz, and today we lead with news long bond yields are on the move higher, notably in Japan and the US. First, however, the overnight dairy auction delivered a modest gain, up 1.5% in US dollar terms, but up just 0.4% in New Zealand dollar terms, as the US dollar is weakening. However, most of this rise is the same as recorded in last week's Pulse event, but it does cement a second consecutive rise in the full auction after 9 consecutive declines, so a 7.8% of rises after 22.5% of falls. Also notable is the much less buyer interest from China, but that was counterbalanced by stronger interest from most other regions. In the US, markets have returned after a chaotic weekend politically to a weak ADP weekly jobs report, recording just 8,000 gains and well within the margin of error. January is starting out tough in their labour markets, but at least it wasn't a decline. The US Supreme Court issued 3 decisions overnight, but did not decide the closely watched dispute over the legality of the Trump tariff taxes. They gave no indication when they will. Also delayed is Trump's imminent decision on his Fed boss nomination. Apparently all his candidates have issues. Also weak is the US dollar. It's now under 7 yuan to the US dollar, and it's lowest since 2023. In China, household borrowing is weak and household savings is strong, up 10% in 2025. That says a lot about the stresses Chinese households are feeling going into 2026. Per capita bank deposits have now risen to over 118,000 yuan, that's 29,000 New Zealand dollars. And we should also probably note that Chinese smartphone shipments fell in 2025, the second year in a row this has happened. In Taiwan, they reported export orders in December exceeding $76 billion, far and away a new record high, and 43% higher than year-ago levels. The Taiwan miracle continues. For all of 2025, these export orders rose 26%. In Malaysia, they reported good December exports too, up more than 10% from the same month a year ago to just over $37 billion and maintaining a strong trade surplus. In Germany, producer price deflation picked up slightly to 2.5% in December from a year ago, to cap a 2025 year where it averaged 1.2%. But overall German investor economic sentiment picked up notably in January, and that was also enough to propel overall EU investor sentiment into positive territory in this wide survey. It's also probably worth noting that the Microsoft boss said overnight at the World Economic Forum the AI bubble could falter unless adoption of the technology picks up. The US Treasury 10-year yield is now just on 4.28%, up 1 basis point from this time yesterday, and now it's highest since September. The US Treasury 30-year bond is now at 4.90%, and it's highest in almost 10 years. The Japanese 10-year bond is up another sharp 7 basis points to 2.35%, and we make that its highest in 28 years. And its 40-year bond is now over 4.25%, and its highest since our records began in 2007. And the price of gold will start today at $4,750 an ounce, up another $78 from yesterday, and a new record. Silver is actually marginally lower at $94 an ounce, and off its record high. American oil prices are up a bit more than 50 cents from yesterday at just over $60 a barrel, while the international Brent price is just under $65 a barrel. And the Kiwi dollar is up another 50 basis points from yesterday, now just under 58.5 US cents. Against the Aussie, we're up 40 basis points at 86.7 Australian cents. Against the euro, we're holding at just on 49.8 euro cents. That all means our trade-weighted index starts today at just over 62.5 and up 50 basis points from yesterday, and its highest since early October. And the Bitcoin price starts today at $89,708 and down 3.8% from yesterday. Volatility over the past 24 hours has been modest, just on plus or minus 1.8%. You can get more news affecting the economy in New Zealand from interest.co.nz. Kia ora, I'm David Chaston, and we'll do this again tomorrow.